Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
We're heading back to Edmonton with a tied series. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Game Over Edmonton and the Oilers with a 3-0 shutout victory over the Dallas Stars. That is Stuart Skinner's third shutout of the playoffs. That's a league-leading third shutout in the playoffs. From Stuart Skinner, it's either an .834 save percentage or it's a shutout. There is no in between. There is nobody else like him. He stands alone. And the Oilers kind of stand alone right now against the Dallas Stars. 2 games in a row where the Oilers, sans special teams, are the better team. We're going to be breaking it down for you. It's Ash tonight. Get into our first period. Going into this game, what did the Oilers want? Oilers wanted 2 things. They wanted to play their 5-on-5 game like they did, and they wanted to make sure that their penalty kill did not cost them another game going down like 3 goals in 6 minutes. They need to not take stupid penalties, play the game they know how to play, and improve on that penalty kill. Well, they did almost all of that. Darnell Nurse, sans one incident. We'll get to it. But first, the Oilers 5-on-5. They're just a better team. We saw that last night in the 2 periods. 40 minutes of it's just all Oilers. And again, tonight, it is really just all Oilers all night tonight. Every line is rolling for the Oilers. They're getting, even though, they don't have last change, we're in Dallas, they're getting the matchups they want. And Pete DeBoer is scrambling to find defense matchups that work, because Pete DeBoer only has 3 defensemen that can actually play the game. Cody Ceci, the Oilers are just taking advantage of him all night, every night. And as Oilers fans, we know the struggle of having Cody Ceci play in your top 4. We actually had to take him out of our top 4 and play Philip Broberg in that top 4 in last year's playoff run. And Dallas is like, oh my God, what are we going to do with this guy? And they have no choice to play him 21 minutes tonight because they don't trust Petrovic and they don't trust Bischel to enough to play more than 10 minutes tonight. So they really only have 4 defensemen and then 2 guys that can only really play against the Oilers' 4th line. And the Oilers are just taking advantage of that all the time. Heiskanen's having to go back and forth between playing with Lindell, playing with Harley, playing with Ceci. It's just not working very well. The Oilers are Pete DeBoer is getting them all the matchups he wants at home, and the Oilers are cannibalizing them. Can you imagine what Knobloch can do when he gets last change in the next 2 games? Dude, this decor I've been saying is just not good enough to compete with the Oilers, especially with their depth. And the depth is kind of what showed up today. Yesterday, yes, we did get those 3 goals. We did take that 3-1 lead. A lot of that was from our top guys. Nothing wrong with getting top guys scoring a bunch, right? But tonight, we had people like Brett Kulak, we had Connor Brown coming out and playing very, very well, despite the fact that there was, a little bit of rumors whether Connor Brown's going to come out of the lineup or not. Me and a couple friends were like, oh my God, are we going to get to see Jeff Skinner play more than 11 minutes in the playoffs? No, our dreams are crushed once again. But Connor Brown does play a very good game tonight. Do you have some concerns about the line he's playing on? But that's not necessarily his fault. But Connor Brown gets that 3rd goal, and about a minute later from the Oilers' second, it's just a beautiful tip, and it's on a weird play too. This whole play, let's kind of break it down a little bit. It's like Nugent Hopkins carries it into the zone, passes it to Kane. Brown's wide open for the shot. Kane takes it, hoping Brown gets the rebound. No rebound. Then Kane and Brown trip over each other, or was it Ottinger who tripped Kane, who fell into Connor Brown? It's very, very weird, but it's a strong play by Jake Wallman at the blue line. Man, Jake Wallman, what a revelation. He Can you believe Detroit gave up? Dude, every time Jake Walman makes a good play, I just turn to anybody who can hear me and be like, yo, Detroit had to pay to get rid of this guy. And look what he's doing right now in the conference finals right now. Holds the puck on the blue line, keeps it in, passes it to Nuge. And Nuge, who I thought also had a really good game today. Oh, it's just what a tip. What a tip. Connor Brown, Ottinger had no chance on that one. It's a beautiful tip. It really is. And the first goal is also a tip. It's from Nuge. Our power play struggling on the road, 1 for 15 coming into tonight, 0 for 14 or 0 for 12 or something going into the Dallas series before game 1. And they capitalized in like 14 seconds. Man, the puck movement, man, oh man, just nothing else like it. Like our power play hasn't been, the best, of all time as it has been. But like I've been saying, once Nugent Hopkins can activate as that third option, like he did again tonight, with just a beautiful tip from a not like a big boosh bomb slapper. It's just a nice wrist shot that gets, Hopkins is able to tip it in back door. Like he's gotten 2 playoff goals this series already. And a big part of how when our power play is good, it's when Nugent Hopkins is getting into play, becoming a playmaker on the opposite side of the ice of McDavid and Draisaitl, and becoming an option. Because McDavid, Draisaitl, to borrow like a basketball term, they have so much gravity. So much of like the Dallas's penalty kill is focused on those guys, and then also watching for Bouchard as the quarterback. Someone like Hopkins, once he activates, it's horrible. And that's not even to speak of whether, it's Corey Perry or Hyman playing the net front guy. Both of those absolutely nightmares in the crease there. So, great game from Nugent Hopkins all around. We know Ottinger's a really great goalie. We know he is top notch. We know he's the best goalie in the playoffs, but there are some goals not every goalie is going to be able to stop. Not any goalie can stop, really, and a lot of those are going to be deflections. And we saw excellent work from Connor Brown and from Nugent Hopkins and Bouchard to set those up. And then there's that second goal by Brett Kulak. It's just he gets his own rebound. It starts off from a Bouchard. He has the puck like 2 feet in front of Stuart Skinner, maybe like a little bit. He's around the hash marks in the Oilers zone. And I mean, people can say, oh, he just passes the puck to McDavid, but he is able to get the puck out from our own zone into the offensive zone so consistently, so fast, like no other defenseman in the league really can. And it ends up Brett Kulak gets his own rebound and he puts it in. That's 3 goals right there, and that's all the Oilers need. How much more could you ask for that from the offensive side? Again, we know Ottinger, who got some luck on some posts, on some missed opportunities, especially in the first, especially in the third. Janmark, Frederick, Kapanen, Klingberg, just so many different Oilers who had great chances but couldn't bury it. And then there was, the great saves that Ottinger made, and that this game was the Oilers still got 3 goals, even with all that luck that Ottinger had and all the great saves that he was going to make. Ottinger is like a good goalie, but he's totally beatable. And I with the Dallas's decor, and especially not going to be able to line match going into the going to Edmonton, it's a big concern. It's a big concern if you're a Dallas Stars fan. I think that you are so happy if you're like Chris Knobloch, you're just like waiting to feast on Cody Ceci, because I mean, he's more than familiar with with how you can take advantage of that. Okay, moving into the second period. The things the Oilers needed to make sure they didn't lose this game. The Oilers did what they needed to win. Now, what did the Oilers need to not lose? Penalty kill. Connor McDavid quite literally might be the best penalty killer ever. Like, yes, we know he's like the best player ever, but he might actually be the best penalty killer. Obviously, the idea was, okay, we kill the penalty, we go McDavid Draisaitl right after the penalty ends, and we can, get a huge amount of offense against not the top guys from the other team because they're tired, they're just in the power play. Now that works, and I like that, but with our penalty kill struggling, I really, really like McDavid and Hyman out there. I mean, again, it was either a 2-on-1 tonight. I think natural stat trick has McDavid. When McDavid's on the ice on the penalty kill, the Oilers get more scoring chances than the other team. How is that even possible? And that's not to mention the dynamic duo of Janmark and Brown, who for some reason can just never, ever, ever bury it just by getting like more 2-on-1s than I've ever seen shorthanded. The Oilers are really like offensively talented 4-on-5, and it was perfect tonight. And that's even with taking some really dumb penalties, which the Oilers mostly didn't. Corey Perry, it wasn't just him, but everyone kind of like pushing and shoving. I can't remember who it was. I think maybe it was Robertson. I think in the first period, the Oilers kill it off, look good. No worries, but Darnell Nurse in the third period, oh man, I think every single Oilers fan out there had a bit of a heart attack. They're going, no. And Dallas fans, they wanted a 5 because why? Like what? What are we doing? It's not a 5. They booed when it wasn't a 5. It's just, but yes. Rope Hintz, if he is out for any amount of time, that is a huge loss to a Dallas Stars team that already needs all the offense it can get from people not named Mikko Rantanen. And yes, Rope Hintz does play with Mikko Rantanen, but that does just make him a little bit less lethal and takes the burden off of the Oilers from having to like put so much energy into shutting down one line, because the Dallas Stars really do only have one line. I think 6 goals against the Oilers. I think that's going to mask a lot of narratives of how the Dallas Stars don't have the offensive depth to compete with the Oilers, or really like a lot of these top 4 teams. I really think the Dallas Stars are kind of the odd team out. Yes, they did win. Yes, Carolina's down 2-0 against a Florida team. Oh, it's going to be Oilers Florida again, isn't it? Oh my God, please, God. I don't want it. I don't want that to be true. But Dallas just has too many weaknesses for a top 4 team. Like, yeah, they played a really good series against Winnipeg and against Colorado, but the Oilers, I really just think they just don't have it, especially if Hintz misses significant time, which would be really unfortunate, especially because, you know, that's just not a 5. I saw people saying that's intent to injure. No, it's a dumb slash Nurse. We're up 3-0. You know what happened last game. I don't know why we're taking these stupid retaliation penalties. Even if they don't call every single one, why would you risk it? It's just not like worth it. It's not necessary. We don't need to do it. We just don't. However, the Oilers penalty kill is starting to ramp up, and you know who they always say, who's the number 1 penalty killer on a team? It's the goalie, Stuart Skinner. Man, oh man, he was a scary man tonight. For a guy that got a shutout, what a scary man. Leaving his net, shades of Mike Smith, flopping around. Oh, it was beautiful. It was glorious. It was everything the goalie position should be. I love it, and he gets the shutout. This guy, what are we gonna do with him? He either has a 834 save percentage, less than 6 goals, or shutout. I mean, is there a way to like predict like in advance if he's gonna have a shutout, and then we just start the other guy? Because if not, we know we're gonna get scored on 5 times. Just start Pickard, or I mean, until he comes back, just hell, fuck it, start Rodrigue, you know? But that one save in the third period, I can't even remember on who it's on because it's just so good. I saw somebody take some like pictures of like, or some screenshots or whatever from like, you know, the apex of it when he was like as far out as it could be, and the Dallas player has the puck. And I just imagine a caption being like, Stuart Skinner saved this puck, by the way. I can't believe it. Just so many great saves. And this is the comparison between like Skinner and Ottinger. Is if like you watch the game, you like try to compare these 2 goalies. Obviously, I mean, even if you look at the stats, I mean, it also is just true that Ottinger is a better goalie than Skinner. But like, even if you just look at this game, You would probably say Ottinger was the better goalie despite the fact Skinner got a shutout. Now, I don't agree with that. Obviously, I don't agree with that. But, Skinner looks not... I don't say he looks shaky, but he is like... He's a much scarier goaltender, but I guess that doesn't matter if you get the shutout, right? And Ottinger lets in 3 goals. Yes, 2 of them were deflections. One of them was on the power play. That second goal, that Brett Kulak one, probably should have had that in some capacity, but last series against Dallas last year, Skinner was the better goalie. He just flat out was. It's just it's so odd. He's so odd. Why do Oilers only get odd goalies? Why are all of our goalies just Mike Smith, whether past, present, or future? They're always Mike Smith. Why? What did Connor McDavid, what did Leon Draisaitl do to make this the reality of the Edmonton Oilers goaltending? It's so funny and so stressful, but hey, 3rd shutout, maybe he really is the GOAT. Maybe Stuart Skinner is the truth. Maybe he'll be the one to lead us to the cup. He won't let in a goal again. It's I don't know. Just excellent game from Skinner, especially after game 1, when people were saying, oh, those 2 shutouts against Vegas were a fluke, and he goes he makes saves like that, he gives us heart attacks like that. But man, oh man, thank you, Stuart Skinner. Your service is recognized here. Moving into our 3rd period here. Next game, game 3. Oilers at home. They have home ice advantage. I guess not for the series, obviously, but they have home ice for the next 2 games. And like I was saying earlier, I think Chris Knoblauch is just looking to eat up that Dallas score. If they can get a mismatch against Cody Ceci, against Bichel or Petrovic, just any time they can get McDavid or Draisaitl out on the ice without Harley or Heiskanen, no shade to Lindell, obviously, but it really is Harley and Heiskanen are their 2 top defenders, and then Lindell's pretty good, and then it's just a cliff. If Knoblauch can ever find situations, and he does, because he loves to find those situations, right after a power play, after an icing, after changes, he is going to eat them alive. I really think Chris Knoblauch is going to eat that core alive. He's so good at making those adjustments, and I really don't think Pete DeBoer or the Dallas D-Corps can really do anything about it, especially when, as it stands right now, the Oilers lines and the Oilers pairings are so nice. The Oilers, in the first 40 minutes and all of the game today, when they were playing Bouchard and Kulak, amazing pair. Klingberg-Wallman, one of the best pairs in the playoffs so far. It's who would have called that? Stetcher is the nurse whisperer. Right? He makes Nurse look almost like $9.5 million, almost. Not yet, but not quite, but almost, right? It's a wonder, and we don't even have Mattias Ekholm back in the lineup yet. Now, we don't know. I think maybe he was confirmed not here for game 3, but even if not, the Oilers are currently rolling right now. No issues. Mattias Ekholm comes in. What do we do? Do we go 11-7? Connor Brown might take a day off just from injury. Maybe Perry takes a sit just, because he's taken some penalties. He's obviously getting up there, not to be oh man, isn't it crazy how Corey Perry is 40 years old, but he is basically 40 years old, if not already. Giving him some extra time to rest would definitely be beneficial. Maybe Frederick comes out, because I think he's just been the worst forward. And he took a really nasty block in the last few seconds of the game. A really good block, mind you. I mean, really just to save the shutout, but maybe he comes out and we go 11-7. I'm not opposed to that. Maybe Stetcher comes out and we find a way to work Kulak in on the right side with Nurse Kulak. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I mean, you don't want to break up Wallman and Klingberg. So what do? Do you go Ekholm Nurse? I mean, you could. I mean, Ekholm would be playing on his offside, or Nurse would, but worth a shot, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I guess we'll see once he comes back. Because yes, Troy Stecher has been good, but but I think like he would definitely be the one to come out. I just think that leaves a vulnerability with Nurse Kulak. For some reason, Stecher just elevates Nurse's game. I really don't know why. Troy Stecher, thank you so much for your service. You are so appreciated. I'm really sorry if you get scratched when Ekholm comes back because you provide a value I don't think anybody else in the world has been able to figure out, which is make Darnell Nurse play really good hockey all the time. But I think the Oilers do have some questions to answer when it comes to Ekholm coming back. Now, I don't think he's coming back for Game 3, maybe Game 4. But, we'll see when that happens. As for the forward core, I really love it. One exception, I really don't think Kane, Brown, and Henrique should be that third line. I really think you should break that up in some way. They were the only forward line to get outchanced and outshot but in these two games. And yes, Brown did score that goal, and yes, Kane was on the ice, but that was with Hopkins and not Henrique. So I think I think that maybe if you want to play Hopkins as a third line center, then you can go Hopkins, Brown, Kane. I'm fine with that, but I think the matchup with Henrique does not work. I don't think those three work well together. I think that it's only a matter of time before the Oilers are going to get punished for something like that. And so now maybe that doesn't happen in games 3 and 4, so it's not a concern. And Pete DeBoer has, I mean, I don't want to say Pete DeBoer hasn't, because he has, but like the Oilers have not suffered from it because of, Stuart Skinner's wonderful, excellent, super wonderful, everybody loves him play. Who's to say? And I say that a little bit in jest, but when Stuart Skinner makes a save and you're out in a bar somewhere in Edmonton, doesn't matter if it was the most routine save of all time, everyone in that bar is going to chance to. Just every single one. Yes, especially if you go online, there are a lot of people who hate Stuart Skinner and a lot of people who are very mean about him. And he does get a lot of criticism that is deserved. But if Stuart Skinner is making saves, every single person in Edmonton is going to be chanting Stu no matter where they are, no matter what they think of him. And if that's not support for your goalie, I don't know what is. So going into our overtime period, we have any comments or questions or concerns with this game or the next game, leave them in chat. I am told, I haven't heard it, but I've seen some quotes from it, that Troy Stecher's first period interview with Jack and Bob was pretty amazing. If you are listening to this, I highly recommend you go seek that out. You can go on the 630 Ched website and you can go listen to the previous week's broadcast, or someone might have posted it to Twitter. I'm pretty sure someone did. But I highly recommend you go check it out because it's pretty great. From what I've heard, I've seen some quotes, it's pretty great. Like I said, if he does come out of the lineup for Mattias Ekholm, his service is greatly appreciated among all Oilers fans. Man, I'm so elated with the depth of the Oilers. We have people not playing that would make this team just as good, if not better, if they were in the lineup, or could be in the lineup. Obviously, Mattias Ekholm. Like if somebody goes down, we have Jeff Skinner waiting in the wings. We have Matt Savoy possibly, right? We have 7 D-men who are completely capable, and that's not even to mention Emberson, who it wasn't ever playing bad, but yes, he did kind of have he was definitely the odd one out when it came to this Oilers D-core. But we have so many options, especially in times of injury, which if we do beat Dallas, and especially if we have to go against Florida, please, Carolina, please. I believe in you. You can do it. You kill the Florida Panthers, and you will be reincarnated as a lotus flower. We all believe in you. But if nothing else, that's all from me tonight. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for checking us out at Game Over Edmonton. You can find me at Jubilee anywhere you can. Obviously, we're the only Game Over network still going because the Oilers are Canada's team, as everybody knows, and every single person who's a fan of a Canadian team knows that the Oilers are Canada's team. None of them will ever dispute that. Nope. Don't ask them. They're like, you just take it from me. But thanks so much for checking us out, and we will see you for Game 3 in 2 days. Welcome back, 8 p.m. start times, I think. See you then.